As always, don't forget to check the video description down below. It's basically like a store. There's a new school that I'm partnered with. Check that out. If you know how the car works, then you can always figure it out. Also have best price on parts and tools down there, and there's also a new repair manual link. You can check that out. It gives you all that diagnosis cool information. So all that's down below in the video description. Today we have this Nissan Altima. It's a 1998 and it's not starting, so I'm going to walk you through the process of figuring out how I kind of verified what was wrong with it today. So let's check it out. Also guys, if this video helps you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. And 5 things. Typically, this is a no crank, no start video. So if your car turns over, this is not the video for you. This is if you turn the key and it clicks or does nothing. So there's typically 5 things. Let's talk about this real quick. You have, it could be a starter, could be a battery, could be an alternator, could be an ignition switch, or some sort of wiring issue. I'd include like relays and fuses in that as well. So one of the most common things, let's just look at the battery connection. We're gonna go easiest to hardest, okay? So battery connection, you come over here and you twist, where is my hand? Okay. Battery connection's right here, and oh, check that out, it's twisting. That, you would be surprised how many cars I've seen where that's the problem, is it just twists, and then you twist up, take it off, and then you find that it's dirty, and you can take a little cleaner. Here's my little cleaner, and basically it's got like a little wire brush and then like a little inside wire guy, and what you do is you come on over here and just kind of clean them out like that. And then to clean that side, you're gonna put your little cap back on, clean, put your stuff back on, maybe give it a jump, starts up, and guess what, you just fix your problem. Another thing can be the actual wire or the connection, and the way you'll know that is it'll be like blue all over the place, and it'll be fat right at the top and then get back down to skinny. In that case, what you'd want to do, as long as you have enough wire, a lot of times you can go back here and make more room for wire. You can pull up, there might be a little connector or something you can pop up and then make more wire. But you'd clip, you're gonna take a big pair of clippers. This is what a big pair of battery wire cutters looks like. You do that, go ahead, just get on there and cut it. With these kind of cutters, it makes it a lot easier. You'd be surprised how easy it is, and check link below for video description for battery wire cutters. You get that, and then you take a universal connection. It's gonna look like this. It's just gonna be new, and you would of course take the bolts out. What I like to do is, see how this is kind of like arced? I like to take both bolts out, flip it, and then put it back down. And you want the kind of battery connectors that don't have the nuts in the bottom, because when you take the bolt out, the nut will just drop out. But you can get them where the threads are actually in the connector. But anyways, you do that, you flip your little plate and then put your wire back in, put it down, be a nice clean connection. That will fix the problem a lot of times. Now, if that's not the issue, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check the actual battery. Again, we're going easiest to hardest. So you're gonna take a little battery connection tool like this, or battery tester tool like this, and boom, and look at that. Hey, this is like a fully charged battery, because it's like a new battery. 12.6, 730. This one, look at that. Oh, okay, this one's only 600, so you just go down to 600 and then enter. 198. Oh my gosh, brand new from Walmart, guys. It's gonna probably work for him, but I still verified the actual problem, and that was not the actual problem. But anyways, you check that. If that was your battery, I'd say, hey, probably take it to your local parts store, have them charge it and test it. This one, a 12.6 volt battery, is a fully charged battery. Like a 12 volt battery is like a low charge battery. So if you have a fully charged battery and you're getting like a fail reading, that's a good indication you have a bad battery. So I'll make sure to tell the customer about that. Okay, so now we've taken care of those issues, connections. And okay, for the relays and the wiring connection, that's where I'm gonna say, hey, check out that school. Because then you can really freelance, you can really check everything good and know exactly what you're doing, because you'll be able to look at a wiring diagram and you can go from there. And here's a power probe. This is what you would use for checking like a lot of your relays. I have a video. You just look up Fixbook relay test or check, and it'll show you how to check a relay with this tool. But basically, you plug your alligator clips on, and then this will send power, negative. So let's say you get your starter relay, because that's the next thing we're going to check is probably your starter. So you get your starter relay, go on you can go on the power side. You can unplug it and hook into the power side, tap it. If it starts, you know, from there to the starter, it's good. You can go on the control side. If you can, well, you'd actually have to tap that wire on the control side and then hit it, and then hear if it clicks and all that. Anyways, I'm not gonna talk too much about that. You could check all your fuses, just tap, tap, tap. And anyways, okay, I'm moving on to starter. All right, so starter, what we're gonna do is you're gonna lift the vehicle, you're gonna come on down, and this guy is testing my arachnophobia. But thankfully, it's pretty cold outside, so I'm not arachnophobic when it's cold, because I know most of them are just chilling. They're not out here terrorizing people. All right, let's make sure you can see what I'm doing. All right, so there is your starter back there. And hopefully you guys will be able to see. I think you can. Maybe not. Okay. Well, if this doesn't work, at least you can say I tried. So there's a control wire. Okay. I'm gonna have to hold. Here, I'm gonna take the camera off. There you go. I'll take this camera off. Show you that way. Okay, here we go. So this is the control wire right here. I've already unplugged it. Alright, and what you do is you take your tester tool. I can find it, I know I brought it down here. And spiders. If this was summer, I literally would not even do this job. Alright, here we go. I got my tester. So I'm gonna come up over here, and so that's hitting the positive, hitting the negative, and we need to go inside right here. And now I know it's hitting the thing because it's saying negative and it's not doing anything. Now that would say, hey, your starter's bad. Now if you do this and you have a manual car and it's in gear and you hit it and your starter works, your car is gonna move because of course it's gonna try and spin the wheels. The other thing you could do is you can either take the wire out and hold your tool into the connector, or you can leave it plugged in and try and probe into this wire. This wire is not easy to probe into. So I'd probably suggest taking this out and sticking the end of the probe in there. Have the person up top turn the key to like start the car, and if you see power, so let's look at our tool. I'm gonna go back up top now. If you see power, then you know, hey, when you turn the key, you're getting power. So it would do that right there without you pushing the button. With the tip of that probe stuck into the wire and the person tries to start the car, that's what you're looking for, because if it does nothing, you know, hey, there's something wrong with the wiring or the ignition switch. That's when a lot of times I'll start to look at the ignition switch. If they turn the key, I'll check the fuses, the relays, and if those are good and you turn the key and nothing, that's a bad ignition switch. All right, so we got ignition switch, starter, battery, connections, and the alternator. So it could be a low charge battery or a dead battery because your alternator is not doing this job, and this one's really easy to check. So first, you can come and just make sure. Sometimes there's inline connections. You just hit this. Oh, my thing's not hooked up here. So I will take this off, hook this up, and check that out. His freaking windshield wipers. All right, so you come right here, and look at that. So that means, hey, we do have a connection. There's not like a inline fuse or anything. Next thing you do, if you can start the car, this one's got a bad starter, so this one's not gonna start. But if you could jump it, start it, and then hold your little tool in here and make sure you're getting 13.5 volts to 14.5 volts. If you're reading battery voltage, you know, hey, it's there's something going on here. You can also disconnect this connection right here with the car started, and check the like on the other end of this connector. Just kind of take your tool and stick it in each little connection. This one's just 2 wires, I think. One of them, I believe one of them should say 12 volts. If you're getting no voltage, on either of these, that's another problem. That could be like the ECM or something, because the car has to tell the alternator to cut on, and if you don't see any volts there, you know, hey, either ECM or other kind of wiring issue is not working. Again, check that school down in the video description below. You can learn more about becoming a wiring diagnosis expert, electrical expert. So there's a lot of cool electrical classes in that class, and link below. And that is pretty much it, guys. We've covered everything. So thank y'all so much for watching. If this video was helpful, again, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And the best way you can show love to Fixbook is buy something. Have you ever wondered what kind of shoes do mechanics wear? Hey, I wear these shoes, link below in the video description. I like them. I think they're like mechanic-y. I had a lot of friends growing up. We all worked on cars, and that's what we wore. So check them out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.